Good morning, I'm Brian. This is Tyler. Welcome you to Mornings with Brian and Tyler. Today we're in Deuteronomy chapter 26, verses 16 through 19. Tyler?
This day the Lord your God commands you to observe these statutes and judgments. Therefore you shall be careful to observe them with all your heart and with all your soul. Today you have proclaimed the Lord to be your God, and that you will walk in his ways and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and that you will obey his voice. Also today the Lord has proclaimed you to be his special people, just as he promised you that you should keep all his commandments, and that he will set you high above all nations which he has made, in praise, in name, and in honor, and that you may be a holy people to the Lord your God, just as he has spoken.
Okay, so first of all, this God thing. A God's obligation, a God's job, is to hook his followers up with stuff. No. Yes. Your American Christianity has lied to you most of your life, okay? I wish I could be whatever, but it has, okay? And I apologize to anybody that in my years of teaching that I ever regurgitated any of that American churchianity trash. But God hooks his followers up with stuff, and his followers hook him up with what he wants. Devotion. However he or she defines that word, that devotion, that's the deal. This is why it says the I am that I am, the Jehovah, your God. This goes to not Ezekiel, but Elijah. If Baal be God, then serve him. But if Jehovah be God, then serve him. You see, there's many gods out there. We touched on this last week, I think. There's idols, there's false gods, and then there is the one true and living God. And that one true living God is called Jehovah, but listen to what he says. They have obtained the Lord's agreement to be their God. In exchange, they walk in his ways, they keep his statutes, his commandments, and his ordinances to obey him. And the Lord has obtained their agreement to be his treasured people as he promised. Now, here's what they get, Tyler. Break it down slowly in verse 19 for us.
And that he will set you high above all nations which he's made.
High above. Deuteronomy 28, he'll say it this way. You're the head, not the tail. You're over, not beneath. You're not under. And for those of you, no, brother, no. Romans 8 says we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. The devil has put defeat into the mind of the church for far too long. This is why Paul will say in that same Romans chapter 8, we are counted as sheep led to the slaughter all day long. Doesn't mean we have to be. We're supposed to be conquerors. Mm-hmm. We conquer through the blood of Christ. We conquer through faith. Those early Christian martyrs that gave their lives, their prayers flipped the world upside down for the next, 1,600 years. And you and I are still reaping the benefit of those prayers of those early Christians that were martyred, that they cried out underneath the altar and the throne, saying, well, how long, O Lord, till thou avenge our blood? Okay? So high above, what else, Tyler?
In praise.
Praise. No, we're supposed to be humble. No, you're not supposed to praise yourself. But if Christians are at the top of their game, Christians should be getting praised, because it's what Jesus said to us in Matthew chapter 5. Let men see your good works and glorify your Father who's in heaven. Praise isn't about you. Praise is about you reflecting it back up to your Father. But there has to be something to reflect it to him. That's you. That's you. What else?
In name.
Okay.
And in honor.
Honor. Okay.
That you may be a holy people to the Lord your God.
As he has promised.
Mm-hmm.
The writer of Hebrews says we live under a better covenant built on better promises because we have a better high priest, better blood, better everything. This is what begins the minimum standard for the law of Moses and the children of Israel. You have to ask yourself, are you even living at the bottom of the heap pile of what God's goodness was intended for Israel? Do you actually believe in a better covenant built on better promises? You have to get defeat out of your heart. You have to get defeat out of your mind. You have to start walking in the victory that Christ already has. And as long as you're happy being beat down by the devil, you'll never get there. But if you're tired of the devil walking about like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour, if you're ready to rise up as a conqueror, knock him back into his place, let the Lion of the tribe of Judah have your back, and smack him the rest of the way back to where he's supposed to be, when you get that place, then you'll realize that the minimum for Israel isn't even the starting point of the minimum for the child of God sanctified by the blood of Christ. Other thoughts, my brother?
No, sir.
With Adam Brian Reagan, this is
Tyler Kelly.
We bid you good morning.